Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of AD Update. It's been a while since we've been sitting in these chairs, Steve, but we figured it's a big week in Ferris Athletics, especially with the parade this weekend. One Day for Dawgs is this week, and there's a lot of great things coming to Ferris State as announced over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's good to be back and good to be doing this again with you, and so I appreciate it. And you're right, we do have some important updates coming up, and it is a big week for us in Bulldog Athletics.
Absolutely. We'll start with the time-sensitive one. Tomorrow is a big day here on campus across the board for all athletics as well as the whole university. It's One Day for Dawgs, our one day of a year. Let's fundraise as much as we can for all of our great programs on campus, both athletics as well as within the university. But athletics certainly has been very successful on these days in years past.
Yeah, these are important days, and so I appreciate everybody's support. And, it is critical for us to raise funds to support our student athletes and continue to elevate our programs and compete at the level that we all expect Bulldog Athletics to compete at. And so our coaches have done a really good job of defining some of their needs and listing those needs so people have an opportunity to go and contribute and see, hey, what is it that this sport is looking for? How can I help this particular sport? And they have an opportunity to give to that sport and help them achieve whatever particular goal or need is that they have. I want to credit Cedric Frierson, our whole advancement team, for helping set this up and make this a reality for us. We know this day is critically important in the support of Bulldog Athletics. So I'm excited. I know from the BAA perspective, the Bulldog Athletic Association, we use those dollars to support a number of important initiatives within the athletic department. It goes to help support like letter jackets. This is the first time that we've been able to purchase letter jackets for all of our student athletes. And so some of the dollars that are contributed go to that. We present our graduating seniors with a framed letter. Some of the dollars go to that. So the dollars that people contribute through One Day for Dawgs directly impacts all of our student athletes and our programs. And so I just want to, in advance, thank people for all of their support, and we're looking forward to tomorrow.
Absolutely, and you can find out more information at ferrisstatebulldogs.com. There will be a series of links there, a whole dashboard, so you can go to your team, go to your organization, be able to support them. And there's a lot of general funds as well. If you don't have a specific team that you want to help fundraise for, you can always go towards the Athletic Association, towards athletics, communication, so on and so forth. You can find that all at ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Also this weekend, very exciting, we're going to be celebrating our national championship football team downtown. This is something we've done the last couple years in 21 and 22, obviously. But very exciting to be able to see not only a lot of the teams out in support, a lot of the fans out in support, but getting the community involved as well in downtown Big Rapids.
Yeah, and I want to begin by thanking the City of Big Rapids, the Downtown Business Association, for all of their support of not only Ferris State, but obviously Ferris State Athletics as well. They've been great partners. Josh Piles, the city, and as I mentioned, Downtown Business Association, helping collaborate with us to put this parade together and make it a reality this Saturday. So we look forward to that. It's going to happen, as you mentioned, at noon on Saturday. And so we're going to recognize any athletic teams that are also available to participate in the parade will do so, and obviously the football team, right? So it's a fun event. It's a great time for our student athletes to interact with the community, and we value Big Rapids and we value this community, and we just wouldn't be where we're at without the support of the community. They're instrumental in helping us achieve the level of success that we have achieved and want to continue to achieve. And so this is a way for us to engage with the community and to celebrate what was a fantastic accomplishment in the football national championship.
Absolutely, and we hope for the fans' perspective, maybe a little less snow than we had in 2022 for those that remember that parade. But very exciting stuff. It'll be downtown on Michigan Avenue. Coach Tony Anise will be speaking. President Pick, you're going to be also on the stage at some point as well. Mayor Fred Gunther will be. Super fun. Bring the kids. It'll be fun.
And part of the reason we moved it too, just sorry to interrupt you, but part of the reason we moved it, and you talk about snow flying, was this was a request from Coach Anise. He said, I really would prefer to do this in better weather. And so we pushed it to April, and it looks like we're going to have a beautiful day on Saturday. It looks in the 50s and sunny.
Oh, wonderful, especially after the snow we got earlier on this week. So, but also with relation to the football field, not too long ago, we had a groundbreaking, a very, very pivotal groundbreaking moving forward, especially for not only athletics in long-term perspective, which we'll touch on here in a minute, but student life on campus, a new dorm going up there on the end of Top Taggart Field. Super fun project. This is a very unique building. Well, not many schools in the country do this, and that's what's really exciting. There's going to be students that are going to be able to watch a football game from the comfort of their own dorm. I mean, just talk about how unique that is for the university and what that's going to be able to provide on the student life in collaboration with athletics.
Yeah, I think it's awesome, and I think President Pink had this vision, and the board of trustees supported it, and I couldn't be more excited to begin to have some construction down at Taggart Field, as we know that field has served us incredibly well, and we've had a lot of success on that field, and we're still going to continue to be at that field, but it's time for some updates, and it's time to bring some new life to that facility, and this residence hall is the start of that, right? This is step one in that process, and so it's really exciting to know that, hey, we're beginning this process of revitalizing Taggart Field. We know there's other things to follow. We're working on those things, and we're fundraising for those things, and I'm excited for it'll be great when we look back at this facility, it'll be 5-8 years from now and go, wow, look at what's happened here, right? But this is step one in that process, and so I think it's really exciting, and what a cool place to live as a student, right?
Really cool.
I mean, you talk about just being so engaged and close and intimate with what's happening down there. Well, this is about as good as it gets, right? You're right there in the action. And the other thing is that this residence hall, as Taggart is located in the center of campus. So it's an ideal location if you're a student in terms of just access to classrooms, access to dining facilities, access to the rec center, right? I mean, you're in a prime location as a student, in terms of just living and having access to the amenities that you need to have and access to your academics that you need to have as a student, on top of being right there on Saturday game day.
Yeah, super cool. And I know many people are wondering, what are the further plans going on with this project? We're going to have to hold off on that for now, but maybe make sure they subscribe so they don't miss out on the up. So we do maybe.
And there are plans, and there certainly are plans, and President Pink has talked about these things. We know at some point we want to have an indoor down there. We know we have to improve the seating situation, both on the visitor side and the home side. So there certainly are plans, and we have been working, to create these plans, and so there is certainly a vision there as we continue to work at Taggart Field.
Absolutely. And the final thing we'll touch on here for this episode, the big one really in recent news here at the university, obviously Coach Daniels going into retirement. We wish him the best and all the time that he served here in Big Rapids. And now, after a long, extensive search, from what I've heard from you and especially the executive search committee, we now have a new hockey coach in Brett Riley. What was it about him that stood out? And just talk about that process of finding a coach for the first time in how many years with Coach Daniels? Yeah,
it's been a long time. So we've been fortunate to have Coach Daniels at the helm for 33 years. That's a long time. And he's been at Ferris for 36 years. Step one, I kind of joked about this, but it was true. One of the first questions we got asked by HR when Coach announced his retirement and we were beginning to build out the process, one of the questions was, submit his job description. And I kind of chuckled because I said, well, where is that job description, right? Is it somewhere in a file cabinet?
Yeah, buried away in the archive.
Buried away somewhere. So that was step one. But it was a very intensive process. We worked with DHR Global, a search firm, to help us and guide us through the process. The process involved a number of Zoom interviews initially with a lot of candidates. And we knew we'd have a high level of interest. There's only 64 Division I hockey teams in the country. And typically, if you follow college hockey, there's going to be 4 to 5 openings on an annual basis within that group of 64. So if you want to be a head coach in the sport of men's ice hockey, there's not many opportunities. And so this was one of them this year. And we did achieve that high level of interest. But, after the Zoom interviews, then you bring candidates to campus, and I got to credit, there's a lot of people that were involved in the process, right? President Pink met with all of the candidates. Obviously, the search committee met with all the candidates. We had a number of athletic staff that met with the candidates. So lots of people interacted with the candidates that we brought on campus, and we eventually landed on Coach Riley. And the thing that we really liked about Coach Riley, one was the trajectory of his program. We liked the progress that he showed every year. When you look at what he's done at LIU and has done it with really limited resources, it's pretty remarkable what he's achieved. To conclude the season 26th in the nation in the pairwise, to have over 20 wins. And if you look at the progress that he made every year, he continued to essentially take that program to a new level. And so we're excited to see how that translates here at Ferris State. But yeah, he's young, he's enthusiastic. He comes from a great pedigree in terms of hockey. The Riley family has been around college hockey for a long time, starting with his grandfather in the Army, to his dad, to his uncles, and now he's got cousins and all kinds of people spread throughout the hockey world. So he's very well connected within the sport of hockey. But I just love his passion, his energy, his enthusiasm, and the fact that what he's done at LIU, the trajectory that he's taken that program on, to me has shown that he's a proven winner.
Absolutely. I know many people are excited for the Ice to be out there in Ingleghaven to have games going, but got to hold off for at least a couple more months until we get to that point. But going to be very exciting. Steve, I appreciate you sitting down. Is there anything last you want to tell the fans here ahead of a busy week in Bulldog Athletics?
The only other thing I want to make everyone aware of is spring football game, April 25th.
Yeah.
And so that'll be happening, and there's a ring ceremony that's going to happen. And so it's going to be an exciting day here, and we're going to retire Zach Sealer's jersey. And
wow, that's awesome.
Zach, who's obviously a fantastic player in the NFL, was a fantastic player for us. The whole Sealer family have been crazy supportive of Ferris State Athletics. As you know, his brother Adam played here as well. But we're going to retire Zach's jersey on the 25th of April. So I invite people to come out to the spring game and see that event. That's a big deal. We don't retire jerseys very often. The last one we did was Jason Vanderlaan. Mm-hmm. So this is a really big deal. And we're excited to have Zach back on campus here at Ferris State.
Awesome. So you guys can find more details on all of the information as far as the spring game, all that covered at ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Steve, appreciate the time. And we got the fans another episode here, 4 in the books, and maybe one more here before the school year ends.
Appreciate it. I appreciate this. Is always fun.
Absolutely. Be sure to subscribe on Ferris Athletics for more episodes of AD Update.